The Philippine government declared an end to combat operations after troops wiped out the last group of ISIS-inspired holdouts in the city.
The Philippine Security Forces, meaning the military, the armed forces, and the police, aided by its government and the massive support of the Filipino people, have nipped the budding infrastructure and defeated terrorism in the Philippines. There are no more militants inside Marawi City. In crushing thus far the most serious attempt to export violent extremism and radicalism in the Philippines and in the region, we have contributed to preventing its spread in Asia.
Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana made the announcement at the sidelines of the ASEAN Defense Ministers meeting in Clark, Pampanga, north of Manila. Lorenzana said troops assaulted the last building occupied by gunmen and found 42 bodies, ending a 5-month siege of Marawi by a combined force of Maute and Abu Sayyaf extremists. At least 1,131 people died in the fighting, including 901 extremists, 165 soldiers and police, and 47 civilians. Close to 2,000 hostages were rescued, including a Roman Catholic priest. Almost 400,000 people were displaced, and the thriving business center of the country's only Islamic city destroyed in brutal street battles and by bombings and shell fire. President Rodrigo Duterte, who imposed martial law in the whole of Mindanao when the extremists attacked the city on May 23, declared the liberation of Marawi from terrorist influence after troops killed the top 2 leaders of the siege on October 16.
I hereby declare Marawi City liberated from the terrorist influence that marks the beginning of rehabilitation of the people.
Troops shot dead in a dawn raid is Nilon Hapilon, who had a $5 million bounty on his head, and Omar Maute, the leader of a Marawi extremist group, which led the siege.
We'd like to thank the nations that helped us: China, United States, Australia, Malaysia, Indonesia, also Brunei also helped, and Singapore.
Earlier in the day, the Australian Defence Minister, Marise Payne, met and thanked the crew of an AP-3C Orion surveillance plane, which flew sorties over the Marawi battle zone to support the Philippine military's operations against the extremists. Australia deployed 2 Orion aircraft since June and flew weekly missions from Clark Airport, which used to be one of the biggest U.S. Air Force bases in the Pacific. The aircraft is part of a squadron which has also flown surveillance missions in Iraq and Afghanistan,